Hey, we got a real great episode on the way for you. We're gonna be talking about Moon Knight. So, if you didn't know already, there was a big reveal. They leaked Moon Knight's costume, and Marvel was acting like they are pissed the hell off. So, we're gonna talk about that and much, much more on the Beyond the Natural. ep- Beyond the Natural podcast. So remember, if it isn't natural, it must be beyond the natural. So I'll catch you on the other side. Enjoy this short intro, and I'll be right back. So welcome back. Let's get into it. So as I told you, we're talking about Moon Knight. So Moon Knight's costume link happened. Not that long ago, just recently. Before we get into that, I want to shout out our sponsors, of course. Shout out to North Bay Freight for all that they do to provide all this wonderful facility that I get to enjoy. North Bay Freight, if you want to get behind the big wheel trucks and travel from East Coast to West Coast, if you got something to ship, if you want to hook up with a very reputable transportation trucking company and get your particular items shipped over and across the U.S. They can they work something out with you. They contract with just about anybody. No matter how big the pallet is, so they got you. So all you simply have to do is just visit them on their Facebook or Instagram page at North Bay Freight. So that's at North Bay Freight. And of course, shout out to Buck Wild T-shirts, Buck Wild Designs. That is buckwildtshirts.com. Buckwildtshirts.com. They got any bit of attire you want. Real soon they're going to be able to like custom design your favorite team. So if you are a sports fan and you want to rock out and get Buck Wild with your sports team, Buck Wild Designs is going to have you hooked up. So look out for what they have in store. Buckwildtshirts.com. Get on their mailing list. It's the best way to look out for all of their updates and much more. And shout out to our other sponsor, Everyone Wins Foundation. Everyone Wins Foundation. As we know, charity. We when we donate our money, sometimes we don't know where that money's going to. So it's important to have transparency, in the way we donate money. So Everyone Wins has came up with a solution to do that. So the best way to hook up with them and find out what they're doing in the way they're changing the way you donate, and you simply go to everyonewins.org. That's everyone with the number one wins.org. So let's get into it. So many are excited, about the Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU) supernatural phase. So yeah, this is a supernatural show, and so every time, every time some news come out about anything supernatural related, rather it be a movie, TV show, or a real life experience that's happening in the world, we take the time out, and like on this show, we want to acknowledge it. We want to bring it in because like what I'm discovering that like many people like myself, I'm into I'm into comic heroes and superheroes and supernatural fiction and nonfiction stories and that whatnot. And now that MCU is rolling out the supernatural phase with movies like Blade, and then they have announced Moon Knight. These are two big storylines that comes out of Marvel. It's going to be quite interesting to see how it translate over, to those who are already appreciative of the Marvel universe. So like I said, I'm a huge Marvel fan, and but like even more so, I'm very much into the paranormal, supernatural stuff, and and this is just this is really going to itch my itch. So if you like me, you're gonna enjoy it too. But what has happened recently, there was a big leak of the Moonlight costume link, so I cannot show the picture because that is a property of Marvel, and who knows who's watching, so if I was to show the picture here on air right now, hey, they might be coming after me next. So, but we know that it was leaked out, and the crazy part is it, it was a positive reaction to the leak. Okay, but Marvel is pushing back against the leak. Okay, they don't like it. They think that like it revealed too much too soon from its upcoming project. Moon Knight is going to be, arriving on Disney Plus, and sometime in 2022 next year. So it'll be on Disney Plus as a 40 to 50-minute episode. So the TV ministries would be centered around Mark Spector, played by Oscar Isaac. So if you don't know who Oscar Isaac is, he played in Machina. He played in X-Men, Apocalypse. He played in some other big movies before. So but the Mark Spector, he's a former U.S. Marine, so I can really identify that, being former military myself. He's afflicted by dissociative identity disorder, or multiple personality disorder. Now, someone who suffers from borderline personality disorder, man, this is really huge for me to see someone played out in real time, on the big screen, just to see, someone who's dealing with like a mental illness that's like almost similar to like what I deal with, played out on the TV screen is really, pretty huge for me. It's a big deal for me, and many other, like, former military, or those who is dealing with some type of trauma, are dealing with, and is afflicted with like a similar disorder. So Spectre, he becomes Moon Knight after becoming the conduit for the Egyptian moon god, and I'm going to butcher this name, Khonsu. Khonsu. So the main antagonist is played by Ethan Hawke, who is believed to be inspired by the cult leader David Caruso. So this is really cool, and but unfortunately, like I said, Marvel, they're very upset about this leak. But here's my thing. They have had many leaks come out with previous projects before, and they have always gotten positive reactions. So I don't know why they would be so surprised, and to me, it's almost like they're dropping seeds and almost trying to test the market, so to speak, and see, like, okay, who's going to leak, who's going to really surround itself around this, and really going to enjoy this. Is anybody going to like this? So like, so they getting their validation right off the bat. And like I said, for somebody like me, who's really into like paranormal and supernatural movies, and and shows, and really, indulge into, really trying to understand the paranormal, supernatural. Like I appreciate it, and then, like I said, the Moon Knight character himself is just just a really interesting character, and he really stands out, kind of separately from a lot of the other characters that they have like created. Now, I don't know about you, but like I think they're really full of it, and I think that they really trying to play some games here, and they're really trying to prevent anyone else from uh, like trying to like hack into the system and into their files and do any more leaks because of like possible repercussion, so so like maybe they did allow someone to leak this out, and so they're trying to take it back like, oh no, we didn't do it, but while at the same time they're hearing all of the great comments coming out of it, and the great PR coming out of it, and and now it's like, and then secretly they're like, oh yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. They're rubbing their hands like Birdman. So it's real, real interesting. What's going on. But like let's talk about like Moon Knight's powers. So like but before we talk about his powers, let's talk about like when he first appeared in the MCU. So he made his first appearance in the comic book series Werewolf by Night number 32. So August of 1975, he appears in books Dark Reign, and his creators is Alan, and I can't say the name, Zealanetz, and Dixon. In the movies, some of the movies he was in was Spider-Man, Identity, and of course Moon Knight. So Moon Knight, the Moon Knight movie. So his powers. So over the years, as Moon Knight Spectre, he exhibited, periodic demonstrations of supernatural powers, such as enhanced strength during nights with full moons, and he also got prophetic visions and dream abilities, the ability to drain another person's life energies through physical contact. So that's pretty interesting because like, um, I think for a character like that to appear in the time that we're dealing with right now, when you think about like his abilities to like to get this ounce of strength during full moons, and like to have visions and dreams, I think it really start normalizing psychics a little bit. I think psychics get like a real bad rep sometimes, because like you got a lot of fake psychics out there. You got a lot of psychics that's like over time like has like given like that whole community of people who got that ability, that real prophetic ability to like tap into dreams and interpret them. People that have like that real intuitive ability to like see off into the far future, and have like some visions. Sometimes visions are clear, sometimes visions are just like fragments of like what's to come. And like and then like you get these frauds that come out here and like scam people with money, and and really hurt people who got that true ability, like myself. Me myself, like I know, growing up, and I still have them to this day. I will get like messages through dreams. I have had messages and the ability to get to interpret dreams. My grandmother, when she was still alive, she would always have me interpret her dreams, and now like I don't use that ability. Like I have the ability to interpret dreams, but I do not use it. Like because nobody asked me to interpret the dreams, and like I'm not going to advertise and interpreting dreams, because like I just feel like it's a gift, like yes, it's a gift, like, but it's just not something that like I feel like I should be exploiting. I feel like if someone feels compelled or feels led to like to ask me to interpret a dream, and and there's a connection there. Yeah, I would gladly interpret a dream, but oftentimes I still get dreams um that's like, I guess, kind of blessed to me myself, and given to it's personal to myself and private for me. And like, I have seen these dreams come and to profit for, what they call, they come into reality, so these dreams come into reality. And um and like sometimes it's very, very scary that, like, I would dream something, and then, like, and then I will actually live through it, or like I live through something and then I dream about it, and whatever that situation was, like, if I didn't understand what that situation was, like, the dream would take me back through that situation, and I'll be able to, like, piece it all together, and like uh, like literally decode everything that was, going on in a situation, and make full meaning of it. It's a very incredible dream. Incredible gift to have. And like I said, I'm very excited about the Moon Knight character, because, like, there's a lot of me I see in this character, including just his powers. His powers and ability, the ability to, like, have prophetic dreams. And no, I'm not taking credit for myself, calling myself a prophet at all. Like, I do not want to call myself a prophet at all. I do not call myself a prophet. Like I said, I do not go around exploiting, myself as a dream interpreter. I don't, I do, like, I know what I love doing. I know what I enjoy. Like, I'm not that saying that I wouldn't enjoy exercising my gift, but, like, I just think it's just like I said, people who have that who have those abilities, we get, they get a bad rep. They get a bad rep. They so demonized in this community, that, like, it's like, okay, you hear somebody, oh, you can interpret dreams, oh, you can see into the vision, oh, that's BS. No, you can't. No, you can't. So, like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to put myself out there unless somebody's compelled to, like, actually ask me about like, hey, like, I don't know, you seem like somebody who can make sense of this dream, can you tell me about it? Well, then at that point, then, like, you know that makes sense, because, like, they put with each other for a reason. And like I said, like, my grandmother, and, my auntie too, my great aunt was probably the only two people that really asked me about their dreams and asked me to interpret their dreams, because, like, you know they they really was the only ones who, like, truly believed in my ability, and, like, and actually knew I had the ability. um so now you guys know. So it's something to share with you guys. uh so so, like, and then, so yeah, so that's really going to be helpful for that particular community of those who have those abilities, to, feel a little bit more open about, like, talking about, their abilities. And then this other part about uh, training another person's life energies through physical contact. Now, this is something that's going to be coming up a lot. Like, we hear about how people, like hear about energy vampires, right? So how you can be around somebody, you can almost feel like, they're sucking your energy, almost. And, like, I that's really a real thing, so. And I think, you know one thing about it is, like, it just doesn't get talked about enough. I think if that was talked about enough, I think people will be, like, doing a lot more practice to really try to clear their energy, and really try to protect themselves against, like, people that they really shouldn't be around so much. Because, like, you can oftentimes, like, feel, like, these vibes uh, with people that, like, hey, there's something off about, every time I'm around this person, or every time I'm, like, really connected with this person, that, like, this does not feel right. And I think this TV series with Moon Knight is really going to, like, really kind of exposed that a little bit, you know. So that's an exciting thing to, because like I said, it's something that's not really talked about enough. I think it's going to be coming up a lot. I know. Um, People, I hear people all the time like, keep that same energy. But like, what about the flip side of it? It's like, okay, what about like, like, what you're doing to my energy? What about stealing my energy? Or what about every time I lay down with you, like that, I feel like, like I don't feel the same when I get up, so so that's something, there's something real about that, because us being like spirit beings, and energy beings, there's something to that. Like, science even like proves that, like, we got uh, uh energy currents running through us. So yeah. What is Moon Knight's disability? So I just talked about his disability, and I told you that I'm very excited about his disability. But um, he- throughout, his character existence, he has been depicted everything from a victim of multiple personality disorder to someone who oftentimes, like, uh, is a little delusional or hallucinates from time to time, which, like, which can be like one of the severe cases of like of someone who suffers from the disorder. um but I think that's like, a little extreme to depict them in that way, like, because like, maybe just like, that's just like an offset of just his superhuman ability that he has, or supernatural ability that he has, to go off and um, be able to see visions and dreams. So like, uh, maybe maybe that's just a little bit, too destructive to um, depict them in that way. So I wonder how they really going to, like, balance this out, though, to really make us more aware of people who suffer from like personality disorders. I'm really excited to find out like how that's going to happen, because like, again, this is really a population of people who don't really get a voice, and oftentimes, like, every time they depicted in movies, like people with borderline personality disorder are depicted in movies, with people with multiple personality disorder depicted in movies, they always depicted as the bad guy. They always depicted as like people who are just crazy, and just like don't have no control over themselves, and um and just like these sex crazed people. So like, I really would like to see where they're gonna go with this. Um, and he's been known as a character, his character background has been that of a Jewish American, former U.S. Marine turned CIA agent. And what happened with him, he left both organizations in disgrace. So he left both the Marines and the CIA. He became a sorcerer. A soldier though of fortune though. So I wonder if we'll get some more of that backstory. So again, all in all though, this storyline is really one to be very, very hyped up about. I don't see what all the fake outrage was, with Marvel. They put out great stuff. With the exception of Black Widow, I wasn't really a fan of the Black Widow, movie. It was all right, but like, I think they could have did a little bit better with that. And maybe it was because they delayed it so much. That movie should have been released, and it feels like it was kind of out of place with like so many of the other projects that they rolled out since Endgame, and since like, Black Widow was killed uh, in Endgame, killed off. Her character was killed off. So like, so it's kind of weird to like, get a Black Widow movie, after all the events of Endgame, and leading, and then then with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and so yeah, it's just, I think they could have did better. But So my opinion, is liking of those of many, but there's others who might say, oh, well, I actually liked it, whatever. But regardless of the fact, I'm hyped up about Marvel, Cinematic Universe, Supernatural phase. I want to see, I'm geeked about that. I'm geeked about MCU phase 4. There's a lot coming out with MCU phase 4. So we're going to be doing a lot of touching up on just what um, these different movies and different TV shows got coming out surrounding paranormal, supernatural. Uh, so anything that rolls out or anything you want to talk about, any topic that comes to mind that you feel like you want me to bring to the forefront and just kind of highlight and kind of just dive deeper into, and just let me know. You can send a message over to media at transformu.us. That's media at transformu.us. Ultimately, also, you can follow the network on Instagram at Transform U Network. So transform the letter U network on Instagram, or on Facebook at Transform U Live. That's transform the letter U live on Facebook, and send us a message there as well. Um, I'm Marcus Hart. You can follow me on Twitter at Marcus_Hart as well. Follow the show on YouTube at Beyond the Natural Podcast. Hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you'll never miss out on any episode. You can also binge previous episodes anytime you want. Anytime you want. But the best way for you to never ever worry about those pesky little uh ads, or being able to listen in the background while you're driving, so you can like just lock your phone up. See how my phone is black right now, and I can still, if you wanted to press that play button, just let it go. It's just listen on any podcast app, your favorite podcast app, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, uh TuneIn, Stitcher, whatever you listen at, Google Podcasts, it don't matter. Type in and search Beyond the Natural Podcast, and you'll be well on your way. Hit the subscribe button, and then you'll get everything coming right at you. Shout out once again to our sponsors, North Bay Freight, Bug Wild T-shirts, and Everyone Wins Foundation. So if it isn't natural, then it must be beyond the natural. Many blessings, peace, and lots of love. We are out.